you all in geological knowledge. So in the previous few lectures we have discussed about the faulting system, folding system, and prior to that we were dealing about the physical geology, basically about the weathering process, mainly the chemical weathering, mechanical weathering or the biological weathering, and we have also discussed about some basic fundamentals of the geological work of wind. Okay, so in the continuation of that series, today we will discuss some basic fundamentals of the geological work of streams or the fluvial system, or we can say the geological work of rivers. Okay, so let's start our today's discussion. That is very important for you to understand the basic concepts behind that. Okay, so let's start our discussion. So this discussion is based on the geological works of streams as well as the rivers. Okay, so before we start our discussion, we must know the basic differences between stream and rivers. So if we talk about stream, so the term stream includes the channelized flow of any size. Okay, the channelized flow of any size from the smallest brook to a very large river like Ganga or Godavari. So stream, when we call the term stream, that includes the channelized flow of any size. Okay, but if we talk about the term river and stream are used synonymously, but the term river is preferably used to denote a main stream into which several tributaries flow. Okay, so river is preferably used to denote a main stream into which several tributaries flow. Okay, so that is the basic difference between stream as well as and river. So let's come back to our question. First question is, what is the stage when the bank full stage is crossed? Overflow stage, flood stage, dead stage, or the excess stage? So we are familiar with that. That is the flood stage. Normally the river flows much below the bank full stage. Okay, means the below the natural levee system. Okay, abnormally, however, the bank full the stage may be crossed when a river is said to be in the flood stage. Okay, so when bank full stage is crossed, so that stage is known as flood stage. And what happens in that flood stage, that the natural levee that crosses the water, that crosses the natural levee and it flows into the flood plains, so that is known as the flood stage. Okay, so option B, that is the flood stage, is the right answer. Next is the distance water travels in a unit time is speed, unit speed, velocity, or the acceleration. So this is a very common question and we all are familiar with that, that the distance traveled in a unit time, that is known as velocity. Okay, next is, what is the term defining the capacity of a river to transport the material is known as? The term which defines the capacity of a river to transport the material, gradient, competency, or the competence, or the flow type, or the fluvial. So what is that term? So competency defines the capacity of a river to transport the material and is represented by the largest size of a particle that can be transported at a given velocity. So the capacity of a river to transport the material is known as the competency, and the inability to transport the material, that is known as incompetency. Okay, so these two are the basic and important term, competency as well as the incompetency. Next one is the term which is a function of cross sectional area of the channel and flow velocity. Means the term which is a function of cross sectional area and the channel and flow velocity. What is that function? Gradient, competence, discharge, or the streamline. So we all know that discharge can be defined as the volume that passes at a given point in the channel in a unit time. Okay, so the volume that passes at a given time in the channel at a unit time, that is known as discharge. It's a function of the cross sectional area and the cross sectional area of the channel and the flow velocity. Okay, that is means the area cross flow velocity, that is known as the discharge. The mechanical loosening and removal of the material from the rocks due to the pressure exerted by the running water is known as gradient, weathering, hydraulic action, or the cavitation. So we all know that is the hydraulic action. Hydraulic action is the mechanical loosening and the removal of the material from the rocks due to the pressure exerted by the running water. The higher the velocity, the greater is the pressure of the running water. Means velocity jitni zyada hogi, the greater is the pressure of the running water, and hence the greater is its capacity to bodily move out part of the rock. Okay, so that is known as hydraulic action. And it can also include the swiftly flowing water that hammers the uneven faces of jointed rocks exposed along its channel and removal of the jointed blocks. Okay, so this process can be known as, or this process of erosion is known as the hydraulic action. And hydraulic action is the very important process of river erosion or the stream erosion. And what happens that at the bottom of the waterfall, the channels are eroded at an enormously rapid rate at the hydraulic by the hydraulic action. Okay, at the waterfalls the channel are eroded at an enormously rapid rate by this hydraulic action process. So option C, hydraulic action, is the right answer. Sixth one is which among the following is not true about cavitation? Okay, about cavitation, which one of the following is not true? It occurs everywhere, it is distinct process, it's a rare process, it's observed where river water acquires exceptionally high velocity. So which one is not true about cavitation? So it occurs everywhere, that is not true. What is cavitation? So cavitation is a distinct and rare type of hydraulic action which is performed by the running water, not by the stagnant water. Cavitation process is performed by the running water. It's particularly observed where river water suddenly acquires exceptionally high velocity and such the location of a waterfall. Okay, so option A, it occurs everywhere, is not right. Next one is, there is a spontaneous change from liquid to vapor state and back to liquid state at the point of fall of waterfall. So there is a statement given here that there is a spontaneous change from liquid to vapor state and back to liquid state at the point of fall of waterfall. So you have to pick it out whether it's true or false. So it's true. What is concept behind it? That it's generally known that where a stream velocity exceeds 12 meter per second. Okay, so this is a velocity where the stream velocity exceeds 12 meter per second. The water pressure developed at the impinging points equals the vapor pressure, and there is a spontaneous change from liquid to vapor and liquid to vapor state and back to liquid state. Okay, So what is the change reaction? Liquid to vapor and again to liquid state at that point. So the given statement is true. Next one is, what is the principal method of stream erosion and involves wearing away of the bedrocks? Hydraulic action, abrasion, attrition, or the corrosion? So that is the abrasion process. Okay, abrasion is a principal method of stream erosion and it involves wearing away of the bedrock and rocks along the bank of the stream or river by the running water. Okay, what is the process? The involving process of wearing away of the bedrock and the rocks along the bank of a stream or river by the running water with the help of the sand grains, pebbles, and the gravels, and all such particles that are being carried by its load. Okay, so that is the process of abrasion. Okay, and what are the grains? The flowing water uses bed rock fragments such as pebbles, gravels, and sands as a tool for scratching and grinding the sides and floor of the valley. Okay, so it's abrade and grind the sides of the valley, and this process of erosion is known as abrasion process. So option B is right. Next one is, the term for wearing and tearing of the loose sediments being transported by a moving natural agency through the process of mutual impact is known as hydraulic action, abrasion, attrition, or the corrosion. So actually, abrasion and attrition, these are two very important processes of erosion, whether we talk about glacial erosion, wind erosion, okay, or the stream erosion. So we must know the basic differences between abrasion and attrition. So abrasion means the uh, collideness or the scratching of material with any medium. Okay, but in process of attrition, the materials are abraded, the material is eroded by the mutual processes of two sand grains. Suppose there are two sand grains and they are colliding mutually, so that process will be known as attrition. And if abrasion, in the abrasion process, a sand grain, suppose a sand grain, it's colliding with a bigger grain. So because of that process of mutual, because the process of colliding with the bigger grains, so that process is known as abrasion. Okay, so where in this particular question, what is given here? The term for wearing and tearing of the load sediments being transported by a moving natural agency through the process of mutual impacts. When we talk about mutual impact between the two same size grains, that is known as the process of attrition. So attrition is the term used for the term for wear and tear of the loads sediments being transported by a moving natural agency through the process of mutual impact and collision which they suffer during their transport. And last one is, or the 10th one is, factor which does not affect velocity is. Okay, which factor from the given four factors doesn't affect the velocity? Gradient of the channel, volume of the water in the stream, type of water flowing, or the roughness of the channel. So option C, type of water flowing, that doesn't affect the velocity of streams. And remaining three, the gradient of the channel, volume of the water in the stream, and the roughness of the channel, these all three factors, they affect the channel velocity. Okay, so the velocity of a stream itself depends on the gradient of the channel, the roughness of the channel along the base and the sides, and the volume of the load in the stream at given place. So option seas, right? Okay, so this was our discussion, some primary or the very basic concept behind the geological work of streams and rivers, and in next video we will discuss some other questions related to this topic, means the erosional process, some other erosional process, and stream transportation or the stream deposition. Okay, thank you.